Hello everyone. In this session, I would like to discuss about the functions in Python. First of all, Python is like which type of programming language means it's like a functional as well as object oriented. Object oriented. Functional means just you can create a function, you can call that function to get the service wherever you want. Object oriented means you can create a class, write some methods inside the class, you can create an object for the class and you can get the services. Means you can create an object and call the methods. This object oriented concepts will discuss later. For now, my Python is like a functional programming language so that you can create a function, you can call it, you can get the services from this particular function. So in Python, how I can create a function. First of all, why we go for function? Very simple thing. Generally, functions are used for to write some functionality. Yes, this is my functionality, which requires some set of statements. That statements you can write. My functionality is this one. For that, I need like 10 lines of code, 10 statements. These 10 statements you can write inside a function. Whenever you want this functionality, you can call that function. You can call that function. That means one fetching is like this functionality, how many times you want to use, that many times you can call it instead of writing these 10 statements every time. That means my function which contains some functionality which can be reusable wherever you want or not, which can be reusable wherever you want. So first in Python, how to create the function? Create the function. Okay, what is the syntax? What is the syntax we are going to follow to create the function? Means very simple thing. To create the function, we have one keyword called is it def is the keyword. Def is the keyword. After that, you can write your function name. For example, I want to find the sum of two numbers. Just add. Okay, this is my function name. How we can represent this is the function? Any programming language you can take. This is the representation for the function or not. After that, this particular function has some statements. The statements or belongs to this particular function. How we can say? By writing that statements by following the indentation or not. Indentation is nothing but okay. Once you find this colon, is nothing but yes, my block started. Okay, the statements which are belongs to that block, you have to follow the indentation or not. Indentation means from here you can calculate. From here you can calculate 4 spaces or tab you can. Here you can write a set of statements based on your requirement. This is my simple function syntax. Def is the keyword and your function name, function representation, and my function body. Writing the function is nothing but just you return some piece of code which contains some statements which related to one functionality. If you want to get the services, if you want to use that function, you should have to call it. So how we can call means just my function name with parenthesis. This is the way we can call it. So can I show this one programmatically? Can I run it? Let me open Visual Studio Code. Just create one file functions.py Python. If you want to run it, I want to run through terminal. Open the terminal here. See this new terminal like this. It's open. Now you can run that particular file. Okay, this is my py functions.py. This is the command to run your Python file. Now, can I create one function? Yes, you can create. By using def keyword, we can create one function. This is my function representation. My add is my function name. The function related statements is nothing but my block is going to start from here. Here you can write my my number 1 is like 10 and my number 2 is like 20 and my sum is like print n1 plus n2. That's it. My function ready now. Say this, my function ready. My function name is this one. My function body is this one. If you want to execute, if you want to get the output, so how we can call this function means block of statements up to here done. So my indentation I followed, okay, completed, that is I want to call it. So how we can call means don't follow any indentation, just it is coming out, means it is not my function body. Okay, I want to call that function. How we can call means just you can call by using that function name add. How can I run it? Yes, you can run. Yeah, you can get this output like 30 or not. This is the way you can create one simple function. Now different types of functions are there. Okay, first starts with my function has some arguments. My function has some parameters or arguments. Based on that one, my functions are like two types. One is like parameterized parameters, based on the parameters, with the parameters or without the parameterized functions. You can say with the parameters, with the parameters. The next one is like without parameters. The next approach also there, that is with return type, return type. The next one without return type also, without return type also. Let's start with without parameters. Whatever you created a function just now, there is no parameters, nothing. It is like without parameters only. With parameters means just you can create, the syntax is like same. Def is the keyword to represent the function. My function name is like sum. Okay, it's take like two arguments like n1 comma n2, n1 comma n2. Now I want to find the sum of these two numbers. Now if you observe here, if anybody call this sum, he has to pass these two arguments or not. So how we can pass it? My sum 10 comma 23. Now if you come here, say this 30 answer for this add method, 30 answer for this particular sum method or not. Now for example, if I add some extra value, another value, you can now see the output 30 and 120. 120 is my output or not. Like this, you can pass a parameters to my function. You can pass a parameters to my function. The next one is like function with return type. The next one is like what? Function with return type, function without return types, function without return type. Now if you observe here, see this, I created a function here. There is row return keyword nothing. This function not returns anything, anything. Now I want to create one function. I want to create one function, get name. This function returns me one name like a Sachin. Okay, like this he returns. Now whenever a function returns some value, while calling that function, you can hold that return value with one variable. With one variable you can hold it. Now whenever you call this method, that function or method is going to return one value. That value I hold with this variable. Now this variable, wherever you want you can use it. Wherever you want you can use it. Now come here. Now say this, my name is printed or not. Now this name, how many times you want, wherever you want you can use it, instead of calling this function every time or not. This is like function with return type. The next thing is like function can return one value. Sometimes that function can return multiple values also. Function can return multiple values also. Okay, if you want to return multiple values, see this. This is the syntax you have to follow. A value is like 10 and my B value is like 20. I want to return A comma B. Two values if you want to return. Two values if you want to return, you can return like this. Now see, while calling this method, while calling this get method, you can get these two values. Why? Because he returned two values. If he return only one value, I can hold with one variable, but he returns multiple values, so that can we hold with multiple name, multiple variables, so that my first value hold by x, my second value hold by y or not. Now can I print x is nothing but my first value x holds a value is like 10. My second value is like y value, y holds b value, my b value is like 20 or not. Okay, now can you run it? Can you run it? Now if you see this, my 10 and 20 both printed or not. Like this, my function can return any number of values. My function can return any number of values. Now the next one, come here, with the parameters, without parameters, with return type, without return type. Next one, my function can call another function. Okay, now come here. My function can call another function. Now see this. Programmatically, I want to show you. I have one function is there. Definition. Okay, def get name is like one function. One function. Here, my name is like a Sachin. My name is like a Sachin. Now I have one more function also there. So that create one more function. Here, my function name is like fn, for example. Now, in this particular function, this is my function body. Okay, this is my function blocks statements I can write from here. In this function, I can call my getter name also. Now, you can write my print, my fn function called. Okay, here, this is like my getter name. Now come here. If I call my fn function, the fn function internally calls another function or not. That fn calls internally another function or not. So my final output is what? You called fn. So my fn body executed, print fn called executed. The next statement is like get name. It is like one more function. So you called is nothing but that get name body is going to execute or not. Now, can I run this one? If I run it, okay, save this one first. Now see this, my function called first, and then get name called. Get name is nothing but another function. In that function, Sachin is there, so that my function called and Sachin both are executed or not. That is one thing. The next one is like my function inside the function. You can write one more function also. You can write one function inside another function, not calling. You can write also. You can write, okay, one function inside another function. So how it looks like, say this. I have a function is there. I have a function arithmetic, for example. I have a function. Inside the function, I have one variable is there, n1. Now here, I have one more function is there. Okay, I have one more function. Get n2 value. Okay, now here I return 20. Now, if you come here, my n2 equals to get n2. Okay, finally I can print n1 plus n2. If you observe here, say this. I can write one function inside another function or not. My arithmetic function body is this one. See the indentation. By seeing this indentation, you can confirm like these all are belongs to my arithmetic function only or not. So here my arithmetic function contains my get n2 function or not. Okay, so you can write one function inside another function or not. Now you can call first. Okay, are you getting this output is like 30 or not? Check it first. Okay, it gives me some error. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is my syntax. like Java syntax. Okay, see this. Now N1 30. N1 value is like a 10. I created one more function in arithmetic. I called that function. This function, if I call, it returns me 20, so that I hold with N2. Finally, I have N1 and N2 values. Can you find the sum? Yes, you can find it. Our goal is like I can write one function inside another function. Okay. Here you can call it or whatever you want, you can do it. That is not an issue. That's not an issue. Okay. Our statement is like can write one function inside another function. That is the one. The next one. Pass one function as an argument or parameter to another function. Pass one function as a argument to another function. Okay, see this here with the parameters are there, right? With the parameter functions. Now we are going to use with the parameter functions deeply. Okay, see this. First, understand my statement first. What is my statement? Pass one function as a argument or parameter to another function. First of all, create one function. Create one function. This is my function. This is my function. Okay. In this function, okay, pass one argument. Now here, if I use like x, okay, just printed that x. That's it. By seeing this one, what we can understand? My x is a parameter to my fn. So while calling my fn, you can pass my x value. Yes, you can pass it. Now see this. Yes, my 10 printed or not. Not only 10, you can pass any value or not. For example, if I pass like a string, yes, it will work. Why? Because my Python program is not like type strict, dynamically typing or not. It's like a dynamically the type, whatever the type of which type of data you are going to hold, dynamically the memory is going to be allocated or not. Okay, at the time of loading, we are not mentioning any type or something. Okay, so that my Python is like dynamically typed programming language, we can say. Now my fn take one argument, just that argument I'm printing, so that you can pass any value. Number, if I pass number printed. Okay, string, boolean. The next one is like list or set or tuple or dictionary. Whatever you want, you can pass it, no problem at all. But now if I am changing my code like this, if I change the code like this, then the time what you can understand, my fn take one argument. What is that argument? X. How you are using this x? These parentheses you are using is nothing but what? My x should be what? A function or not. Now, if I write my fn, if I call my fn with 10, my x value is like what? 10. Can I call my 10? Integer I'm not able to call. I can call only functions or not, so that it gives me an error. See this. Integer object is not callable. Okay, now if I pass like a string value. Now is my x value is what now? String. Can I call string? No. What I can call a function only or not. String object is not callable. So here you should have to pass what? You should have to pass a function only or not. So that can I create one function now? Can I create one function now? My function name is like any name you can put it. Okay, you can say like this is my function. Okay, this is my f1 function. I can write it. Okay, here I'm going to add like f1 called. Now see my statement. Pass one function as an argument to another function. Now if I call my fn, which value you want me to pass? Which value? 10. 10 is not a function. String is not a function. If I pass my f1 is a function or not. My f1 is a function or not. So here see, pass a function f1 as an argument to another function fn or not. pass a function f1 as an argument to another function fn or not? Yes, you can pass it. You can pass it. Now my fn go to my fn, my f1 go to my fn as an argument. So my x is like f1 now. Okay, x is f1 is nothing but my x is what? X is f1 is nothing but a function or not. So if my x is f1, yes, I can call it. I can call it. That means my x called is nothing but indirectly we are calling what? Indirectly we are calling f1 or not. So that say this, my f1 is going to called or not. Now say this. Okay, syntax error. Don't worry about that one. See this, my f1 called or not. Now I want to define one definition for the callback. What is callback function? You know, which function you pass as an argument to another function. In that function, we are calling with another reference indirectly or not. That type of functions we can say like what? F callback functions. In this case, my f1 is the callback. Why? Because you not call directly this f1. Did you see anywhere f1 like this? No. Okay, you didn't write any code f1 like that, but still my f1 called or not? You call directly or indirectly? Indirectly you called. So which function you pass as an argument to another function? Okay, that function I can say like a callback. In this case, f1 I pass as an argument, so f1 is a callback. Which function take one function as an argument? That one I can say like a higher order function. So here my f1 is like a callback, My f1 is like a higher order function or not? Yes or no? That is the next statement. Pass one function as an argument to another function. Next one. A function can return another function also. Okay, now see, my function can return any value. Now my value not like 10 or 20 like that. The value is like one more function. Now see this. This is my fn. This is my f1. This is my f1. This is my fn. My fn returns me what? f1. Now, if you come here, if I call my fn, if I call my fn, it returns me what? One value. If any one returns a value, can we hold with one variable? What it returns? My fn returns what? f1 function or not? That means what? One function can return another function. If function returns me one thing, one value, I can hold with another variable or not. So my f holds what? My fn return value. My fn return value is what? f1. So my f internally holds f1 or not. So my f is pointing to f1. My f1 type is a function. So that can I call? Okay, now if I call this one, I'll say this, my f1 call executed or not. Means my function can return one more function. Okay, based on your requirement, you can hold that function, you can call it, or you want whatever you want, you can do it. Whatever you want, you can do it. That is my next one. Understood? Function can call another function. We can write a function inside another function. We can write it, pass one function as an argument to another function. One function can return another function also. The next level discussion on functions are like, I want to talk about the parameters in my next session. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching.